What are you looking for? We know, don't we, what it feels like to look, to seek. And we know well what it feels like to doubt and to worry. We know what it feels like to laugh on our journey, to wonder, to wander, to keep seeking, to doubt again, to keep looking. And I've learned that what I don't understand far outweighs what I do understand. The meaning of life, the meaning of death, which faces every single one of us, the fate of the earth. I don't know what that is. Is there a God? I believe so, but I would be lying if I didn't say there were days when I had doubt. And if there is a God, where is God? Who is God? What is God? And what does God say to me and to this community? How can we hear God's voice and understand it and become a better person, a better community? How can we contribute to making the world a better place? What are you looking for? Tomorrow, we celebrate and honor and remember the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., whose legacy is still yet to be fulfilled and whose legacy continues to be an inspiration. How can I and you and this community and this country use what Dr. King taught us to improve our understanding of what it is we are called to? What are you looking for? In the book of Samuel, God called Samuel when he was about 12 years old. At first, Samuel thinks it's his teacher Eli calling. So he's lived with Eli since he was weaned, so maybe 11 years or so. And he runs into Eli's room and says, "Here I am." And this comical misunderstanding happens 3 whole times before Eli, even though his vision is dim, finally it clears and he advises Samuel to respond to God's call. And he says, don't say, "Here I am," which is all about Samuel, but rather, "Speak, O God, your servant is listening. Speak, O God," which is all about God. From Samuel, we learn that God's voice is very close to us, and so close and so familiar that what seems ordinary might actually be God. We also might learn that we turn to our mentors and sages and wisdom figures to help us discern the voice of God. Otherwise, we might miss it. And also how to respond to that. The second reading from St. Paul to the Corinthians teaches us that God's even closer. God is as close as our own bodies, that our body is the temple of the Holy Spirit in which God lives. Imagine that these bodies we have contain God. That's where the face of God is. So when I look into your eyes, I see the face of God. And likewise, do not forget that when you and I look into a mirror, the face of God is there too, because we are called to see the Christ and also to be the Christ for one another. And in that Gospel of John, what we hear there are the first words Jesus utters in this gospel. The very first words Jesus utters, he says, "What are you looking for?" It's as though he knows us, because he does. And the disciples answer with another question: "Where are you staying? Where do you dwell?" That's what I'm looking for. So we learn that the way to answer the question, "What are you looking for?" is to go find where Christ is dwelling in the world. If you want to find out what you're looking for, consider going where Christ is abiding, staying, pitching a tent in the world. I spent Friday night and all day Saturday at a retreat, and the subject of the retreat was Dante's Divine Comedy. And there, this is not all that I learned, but some of what I learned. In order to see God, you have to see yourself, be at home in yourself. I also learned that our life's journey is to reflect the divinity that lives within us. I also learned this, that it's all about love. And this, that justice is failed love. Justice is plan B, where plan A is love. And thank God for plan B, because we need plan B, because love fails so often. So if love wins, then justice just happens organically. But if love fails, as it often does, then we fall back on justice. So aim for love, seek love, imitate love, abide in love, and always remember justice is plan B. I also learned that God deeply desires to speak to us. It is God's only desire to speak to us, to touch our hearts, to enter us more and more deeply, and to say to us over and over again, it's all about love. What are you looking for?